Spot Winnie Mays is proud to support programming on Coyote News. The Spot Winnie Mays, providing salon and spa services for men, women, and children.
Coyote News, it's not all red and vermilion this week. We'll tell you why there's some pink as well.
Also, in honor of D-Days, we catch up with some USD alumni. Coyote News starts right now.
Live from the Al Newharth Media Center, this is Coyote News.
Hello, I'm Cassidy Cornell.
And I'm Nathan Finster. We'll get to those stories and more, but first...
A longtime science education professor at USD has died. Paul Otto died Saturday in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Otto became a USD professor in 1972 and started the South Dakota Science Olympiad for middle and high school students. He was named Professor Emeritus in 1990 and moved to Green Bay. The funeral is in Green Bay on Saturday. President Trump is visiting Las Vegas today, days after the deadliest shooting in modern American history. He was greeted at the airport by the Nevada governor, Las Vegas mayor, the Clark County sheriff, and the chief of police. The president visited the University Media Center of Southern Nevada, a hospital that treated many of those injured and killed. A new storm's forming in the southwestern Caribbean near Central America. The storm's more than 1,000 miles away from the U.S., but could reach the Gulf Coast by this weekend. The storm's still classified as a tropical depression, but is expected to strengthen into Tropical Storm Nate this evening. Rainfall of 15 to 20 inches is possible in Nicaragua, which could bring life-threatening flash floods and mudslides through Friday morning. And those are your headlines. And now let's take a look at weather with Devin Martin. Devin?
Thanks, Cassidy. Well, as you all know, it's D-Days this week, and the weather is just as insane as this week is. For the remainder of today, there will be an increase of cloud coverage with a low being around 51 degrees. We will also have some southeast winds at 5 miles per hour, reaching this area with a 60% chance of rain toward midnight. The rain from Wednesday night will carry over into Thursday with an 80% chance of rain in the afternoon and 70% chance of rain for the night. The high will also be near 64 degrees and a low at around 54. For Friday, there will be a high near 60 with a 70% chance of rain in the afternoon. And Friday will also give us a low of around 47 with a 60% chance of rain and into the night. As mentioned, all it seems to do for the weekdays is rain. However, we are not going to see any rain for all the D-Days festivities this weekend. For the parade and football game on Saturday, it will be mostly sunny, and there will be a high near 71 with a low near 47. On Sunday, with D-Days being officially over, the weather will be just like Saturday, having a high near 68 and a low near 45, also bringing clear skies and sunshine like Saturday did. Also, with Monday being Native American Day, make sure to get outside and enjoy the day. Go to Spirit Mound, the Outlook in Nebraska, and just relax because skies will be clear and sunny with a high near 62 and a low near 39. Tuesday will also bring clear skies and a high near 58. Lastly, for my weather fun fact this week, the Vermilion area had at least precipitation average of 0.74 inches of rain every year for the Dakota Days football game. With it raining, and with it not raining this Saturday, does that mean that the Yotes will pull off a win? And that's your Coyote weather.
Thanks, Devin. The Big Pink Volleyball fundraiser started at Western Illinois University as a way for students to raise money for breast cancer awareness. Now, it's held at many universities across the nation, raising money for all types of cancer. The U's taken part in the nationwide event for the past few years. This year, USD Intramurals teamed up with the Colleges Against Cancer student organization to put on a tournament to raise money for Aria, a 5-year-old Vermilion resident battling cancer.
We decided to run it this year for Aria to make a little bit bigger impact here in the Vermilion community and increase our turnout. Aria is battling acute lymphoblastic leukemia. She's a 5-year-old girl here in Vermilion, and we were really excited to be able to donate our cause to her.
Wellness Center Assistant Director of Intramurals, Connor Singheisen, says he hopes the tradition of reaching out to the Vermilion community continues.
We're hoping to continue this tradition of giving back to Vermilion community residents as opposed to donating money to a general fund in hopes of having a bigger impact here on campus.
Aria and her family initially planned on being at the event. However, she got sick and they were unable to attend. Singhuisen says they still plan to bring Aria and her family in for a formal donation ceremony. And if you missed out on this year's event but wish to donate, you may do so at the Wellness Center.
Coming up, we show you how Dakota Days kicked off on Sunday night.
This is Coyote News.
The week of D-Days brings an influx of visitors from all around the state. Local hotels are preparing for one of the biggest weeks of the year, including the Best Western on Cherry Street.
Well, probably D-Days and May graduation are probably the two biggest demand weekends that we have each year. We are busy most weekends, but with those two weekends in particular, we will tend to fill up like months in advance, so 6 months in advance.
Due to how busy the first week of October can be, some people have already booked rooms for D-Days in 2019. Because of the consistency in numbers, local hotels are usually prepared.
I mean, it's one of those things where we pretty much know what weekend it is every year, and that way we can kind of prepare for it and be ready for the demand and everything that kind of comes with it.
If you have family visiting during a busy week in Vermilion, consider booking a hotel early.
In honor of D-Days week, Coyote News and the Volant are catching up with USD alumni. David Jal, a lost boy of Sudan, had a long journey to get to Vermilion. Rachel Newville reports Jal has dedicated himself to giving back by starting a nonprofit in South Sudan.
Now a Sioux Falls probation officer, Jal has started a nonprofit to help the war-torn country he fled after being a child soldier. He says the education he received at USD made it possible for him to help out.
When I was going through USD, there was a class that I took. It was called the Ethical Issues, and it brought me back to my childhood of how things are created by individuals and affect others, or could affect others. And I was thinking back about the Civil War that came about during my childhood, and thinking about all the children of my age, or the one that came after me, what the life is like for them.
Jal visits his nonprofit in Sudan once a year and has brought his family with him to visit once. He says he uses his experiences to help others in the community.
My advice to the children always, or to students, any school I go to, it doesn't matter what kind of background you come from. If you stay in the school and do the best you can, things will change for you, because it did for me. Where I came from nothing. But the education did so much for me.
For Coyote News, I'm Rachel Newville.
For more on Jal's story, pick up this week's issue of The Volant or visit volantonline.com.
D-Days kicked off this Sunday with Yotes Got Talent, immediately followed by the Dakota Days royalty reveal. Every year, students are chosen by campus organizations and voted for by students to crown the Mr. and Miss South Dakota.
I mean, being a senior, it's awesome, like seeing so many fantastic ladies and gentlemen that represent USD so well, being so involved. So I think it's an awesome lineup. I couldn't have chosen a better group myself, so it's awesome.
With the reveal taking place right after the winners of Yotes Got Talent, those picked for the next round got sashes handed out by last year's royalty and was narrowed down to 7 men and 7 women. The official coronation of Mr. and Miss South Dakota will take place during halftime on Saturday's game against Youngstown State.
Dakota Days Chair Jesse Sadlon now joins Coyote News' Rachel Newville from the Vermtown Bash in downtown Vermilion. Rachel?
Thanks, Cassidy. I'm here downtown live at the Vermtown Bash with the coordinator of the Dakota Days Chair. So, Jesse, could you tell me a little bit about how the planning that goes into this event?
Yeah, so we kind of form our board in November and kind of kick off the entire Dakota Days season for us by picking out a theme and whatnot. And obviously, when it comes springtime, we kind of figure out the details of all the events and organize it, and then everything kind of comes together. I guess it culminates as it gets closer and closer, so just a lot of details, organization.
Yeah. So how many people do you expect to come out tonight?
Last year I think we had around 200 and 250, so hopefully more. I'd like to see more students come down and interact with the community.
What's all offered here at Vermtown Bash tonight?
Yeah, so we have bounce around here, and they brought the inflatables and whatnot and games, and then there's just various student organizations, and then some community members that are here tabling, and they brought their own activities and whatnot. So
great, thank you.
Yeah.
The dance starts downtown tonight at 9 p.m. Live for Coyote News, downtown Vermilion, I'm Rachel Newville.
Still to come, we tell you what happened when a popular TV show came through Vermilion.
Your fire tag. 1926.
This is Coyote News.
The popular Amazon Prime show Fireball Run Adventure Rally rode its way through Vermilion last week. The show, which has a similar premise to The Amazing Race, started this season in Wisconsin and ended in Rapid City. The teams were in Yankton and Vermilion on Thursday and took off for Pierre Friday morning. The team showed off their cars downtown before completing a series of tasks, including typing on Al Newhart's actual typewriter in the Volant newsroom. The full season's expected to be released on Amazon Prime in the next year.
Continuing our D-Days coverage, we caught up with some USD alumni who are making their mark on the art world. Coyote News' Lauren Solak has the story.
Zach DeBoer and Molly O'Connor met in drawing class at USD. While DeBoer was involved in activities through the arts department, O'Connor did different things around campus.
I was a photographer for the Volant. And also a tech fellow for 4 of my years there. I was involved with AIGA, which is a graphic design organization, and I was the vice president for that while I was there.
After graduating, O'Connor did graphic design at Creative Services for USD and the USD Foundation. Now she works at Lemonly, a design agency in Sioux Falls. Meanwhile, DeBoer worked as an art teacher and later opened his own art gallery. He is also running for city council in Sioux Falls.
Exposure is a contemporary art gallery and studio space. We have 7 studio spaces that artists rent, and we do monthly shows where we have beer and cupcakes and feature local artists exclusively. opened exposure to kind of be a community hub, a place where we could start to retain some of those artists that were leaving.
For Coyote News, I'm Lauren Solik.
Thanks, Lauren. Coyotes know that intramural sports are popular at USD. The league allows students to stay active and compete in sports they wouldn't be able to otherwise. Flag football lets students compete without the added risk of injury. Students from Lambda Chi Alpha and Delta Tau Delta got together last week to battle it out for a championship spot. We caught up with a member of Delta Tau Delta to see how they've prepared.
Well, Coach Fox has had us in the weight room all off season. He's got us working hard. He's got us running drills and stuff like that. So, anything we can possibly do to make ourselves better, whether it's pushing ourselves in the weight room or just coming out here and grinding on the field with our brothers.
The boys from Lambda put up a good fight, but Delt managed to come away with the win. Playoffs are about to start. Anyone looking to join a team is free to do so anytime at the start of the season. Well, Devin, the football team was back in action this week.
Yes, they were. We have highlights of their thrilling victory at Western Illinois, and we have highlights of last night's volleyball win against Oral Roberts. That and more next in sports.
This is Coyote News.
Tonight on Coyote Sports, the football team stays undefeated, and both the men's and women's golf teams had successful weeks. But first, the headlines with Devin Martin. Devin?
Thanks, Devin. The Minnesota Lynx will host the Los Angeles Sparks tonight in Game 5 of the WNBA Finals. The winner will be crowned champion. These two teams are facing off in the finals for a second consecutive year. Last year's series also went to a deciding 5th game, with the Sparks coming out on top. The Sparks are looking to win a second straight title, while the Lynx are looking to win their 4th in 7 years. The New York Yankees defeated the Minnesota Twins 8-4 last night in the American League wildcard game. The Yankees will take on the Cleveland Indians and the American League, the divisional series, starting tomorrow night. The Colorado Rockies and the Arizona Diamondbacks face off in the National League wildcard game this evening. Justin Thomas has been named the PGA Player of the Year for the first time in his career. Thomas has been a tour best 5 victories, including winning his first career major at the PGA Championship. He also won the FedEx Cup playoffs and set the tour's 72-hole scoring record. And those are your headlines. Back to you, Devin.
Thanks, Devin. Last season, the Coyotes took a 31-14 lead into halftime against Western Illinois, but ended up losing 35-34. This year's contest had a sense of deja vu for Coyote fans. Much like last year's game, the Coyotes would get off to a fast start when Chris Stredler finds Alonje Brooks for a 6-yard TD, and the Yotes go up 7-0. In the second quarter, Stredler would rainbow a beautiful pass, 32 yards to Brett Van Rukel, who makes the catch, giving USD a 17-6 lead. Early in the third quarter, Stredler will keep it himself here, and he will plow through the middle of the defense. He's in for a score, extending the lead to 31-6. The Yotes would take a 38-6 lead, and then everything would start to go the Leathernecks' way. Sean McGuire fans Jalen Acklin. He splits the defense and breaks a tackle. He's gone 41 yards to the house, and it's a 38-33 game. It's last year's game all over again, but Danny Rambo would have none of that. He picks off McGuire's pass to seal a 5-point victory for the Coyotes. USD goes to 4-0 on the season. They've moved up to number 6 in the FCS coaches poll. Coyote News' Lauren Solik caught up with junior linebacker Alex Coker, who says the team is preparing for the D-Days game just like any other game on the schedule.
I'm here with linebacker Alex Coker to talk about the football team season so far and D-Days. So Alex, you guys are currently 4-0. Can you tell me a little bit about what that feels like?
You know, coming from last year, we had an okay season. To be 4-0. We're grateful. Offense is playing well. Defense is playing well. We're excited for homecoming.
And you guys are currently ranked above SDSU. How does that feel?
You know, I haven't even seen the rankings, so that's news to me, but I guess that's exciting. That's probably the first time in a while, and we're excited about that.
Okay, and what kind of preparations is the team taking going into D-Days?
It's just like a normal week for us. I mean, we game plan just as normal, and we're going to execute the game plan just like the coaches want.
And what have your goals been for the season?
Personally, I don't really have many goals, just to give the team the best I have and to contribute in any way possible to help the team succeed.
Okay, awesome. Thanks,
Yep.
Alex. The football team will take on Youngstown State right here in the Dome on Saturday for the D-Days game. Kickoff is at 2 p.m. For Coyote News, I'm Lauren Solik.
The USD volleyball team defeated Fort Wayne Friday night in straight sets. Last night they hosted Oral Roberts, looking to win a second straight Summit League match. The Coyotes would look to get off to a fast start, and they do just that. In the first set, Brittany Jessen sets up Christina Susak, who spikes this one off a defender's fingers. It falls in for a point, and USD wins the first set. Later in the match, Jessen setting up Haley Dotseth, and she eases this one right over the defender, and it falls in. However, Oral Roberts wins set 2. Elizabeth Lochin rises up and rips this one just to the back line. USD takes set number 3. Match point now, and Dotseth spikes this one right off an Oral Roberts defender. It deflects out of bounds, and the Yotes would take this one 3-1. Libero Ann Rasmussen was named the Summit League Defensive Player of the Week for the second week in a row. She is still second in the conference in digs per set and total digs. USD travels to take on Omaha on Saturday. The men's golf team finished second at the Drake Zach Johnson Invitational yesterday. The Coyotes finished 5 strokes behind Indian Hills Community College. Junior Tommy Vining finished in 3rd place individually after a 2-under par first round. Sophomore Scott Fudenberg finished in a tie for 5th in his first tournament of 2017. Matt Tolan tied for 12th, and Jacob Michael and Tate Aarons tied for 27th place. The Yotes are off for a week before competing at the UMKC Bill Ross Intercollegiate on Monday and Tuesday. Moving over to women's golf, USD tied for 4th place at the Nebraska Chipping Club Invitational. Senior Abby Dufresne had a season-best tournament, finishing in a tie for 4th. Junior Lexi Peterson and sophomore Carly Kerrigan each tied for 19th. Sunny Killian moved up 14 positions on the final day to finish in a tie for 23rd. And Julia Hall rounded out the Coyotes in a tie for 33rd. USD has 1 tournament remaining, the Drake Bulldog Invitational, beginning Monday. That's a look at sports. Coming up after the break, we ask students about their favorite part of D-Days. Their answers are next.
Fostering is when you take in an animal into your home and you take care of them until we can find them a permanent forever home.
If you can find it in your heart to do it, it's rewarding.
We do all the vetting, the neutering, the spaying, the medications.
The Humane Society has lots and lots of great dogs and cats that can pull at your heartstrings and make you realize you got a little more to give.
Greetings, welcome to the CDC, the Center for Community and Diversity, where diversity and community meets the University of South Dakota Mission.
Cater to empowering and enriching the students' lives to ensure that they can obtain the quintessential tools to be able to navigate society.
This is Coyote News.
We're only halfway through D-Days, and there's still lots to come. In this week's Out and About, we asked students what their favorite part of D-Days is.
Really just the environment around campus during D-Days. It's perfect. There's a lot of parents coming, football games.
The game. For me, my favorite part is definitely the game. I like to watch football. I like to show my USD spirit. So go Yotes.
Everyone's just friends during the week. Like even if you hate somebody, you gotta like him.
I'm a freshman here at University of South Dakota, but I think all the hype around D-Days is awesome. Everyone's getting ready for it.
I'm getting to go tailgating with all my friends.
I cannot say it on camera. Everyone just has a great time. It's a big community thing, so it's just everyone's happy all the time.
Favorite part about D-Days is definitely just the excitement for the game, the school spirit. Everything comes together for 1 week in the year, and it's just a great time for everyone.
People are pretty chill. Like you can just run around and be like, Happy D-Days! Happy D-Days!
The drinking.
Pick up a special Dakota Days throwback issue of the Volant out today, featuring a story on the impact President Abbott has had on USD over the past 20 years and his retirement. And that's all for Coyote News. Don't forget to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter and Instagram.
And be sure to listen to KYOT and KAOR Coyote Radio daily updates throughout the week.
Thank you and have a great night.